third area, bookstore distribution. Now this is huge in both a positive and negative manner, and I'll go through that in a little bit more detail with you now. First option I want to talk to you about is traditional bookstore distribution. Now here's how it works. You have a book, you pitch it to a bookstore. They do or don't take it. If they don't take it, you're one of the lucky ones. If they do take it, you're now in the quite high chance that you're going to be one of the 95% of people that fail in bookstores. Only 5% of the books that go into bookstores actually make it. Now by make it I mean become bestsellers, which in Australia is only 10,000 books. But if you don't make it in the first 3 months, you've got a bit of a problem. Because bookstores are fantastic. When they order your books, they send you the check up front. You get paid, you print the books, you send them off to them, everything's fantastic. But if in 3 months your books haven't sold, they're sent back to you. Damaged, dog-eared, not really sellable, and guess what? You've got to send the money back. Now, if out of that money you've got, you've already paid a hefty price to print these books that are unsaleable. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there's a very low wholesale rate that bookstores actually pay for your books in the first place. Try taking 60% off before you even start. Every bookstore, they're different, but they're around the 60% mark. So you're looking at 40% of the RRP of your book before you even start. Take off that the cost of printing it, getting it to whatever location it's distributed in, possible agents fees depending on your distribution channel. You're lucky to make $1 or $2 per book. So if you put 5,000 into all the bookstores at once, all in New Zealand and Australia, fantastic. But if you get 5,000 back, you've got a bit of a problem. Great method of distributing books, very high risk involved. Up until recently, the only option though. There's now some other options. One's print on demand registration. Now by print on demand, I mean it's digital, we print the books when you need them. What if you could sell the books first and then print them? Print on demand distribution is fantastic. It's actually not available in Australia yet, though I got an email today saying it should be here by next week. So it will be very soon. But US-UK market, for example, it's a fantastic idea because your books don't go into the bookstores, they go into the books catalogues. Now, the disadvantage of this, they're not physically in the stores. The advantage, someone goes into a bookstore and says, hey, can I get a copy of X, Y, and Z? Sorry, we're out of stock. We'll have to order one in for you. Your book's automatically appearing to be a lot more popular. The other thing is with the US and UK market, they think they own the online world. So online stores count. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. If your books are in those catalogues on a computer screen, no one knows they're not in stock. They order them, we print them, we send them to them after we've charged them, and you get a commission. Fantastic automated process. But if you actually want to get your books in stores and you don't want the risk of the traditional method, it's another option, franchise distribution. Now what that means is approaching an individual franchise. Now that can be done on the self-distribution level. Instead of going into your local Dymocks store, you can go to the head of Dymocks Australia and say, would you like to take my book? But it may or may not be successful. Fourth step is self-distribution, which is, as I mentioned before, physically going into the store and saying, would you like to take my book? Not heavily recommended, does work, I won't say it doesn't work, it does fail as well, but the people it does work for are still spending a lot of time physically going and putting their books in for a very small financial return. They're basically your 4 steps. Important things to note about distribution. 1, there's initial costs and ongoing costs. Now you need to look at the 2 separately. Some initial costs might be quite cheap, others might be quite expensive, but you want to look at the ongoing costs. Is it better to put more money into a project now to save me money down the line, or do I just want to pay a little bit now, but know it's going to cost me more down the line once I've made some money for the books and can afford to fund it? You want to look at both those options because you don't want to start any distribution channel that you can't afford to finish.